Counsel, if you would like to state your name.
Your Honor, Jeffrey Nyman on behalf of the Kirk family. I've been very hesitant to speak up at these proceedings. We understand it's the state, the defense.
The most dangerous words spoken in a courtroom are not objections or verdicts. They are the words of someone who says they have been hesitant to speak.
And the judge, you're all doing your job. But I feel as if we need to. I want to be clear as to what the Kirk's family's position is on all of this. The Kirk.
Because hesitation, when you are the one who has already lost everything, is not about fear of the law. It is about fear of what the law will do when it chooses to look away. Imagine a sealed room, not a vault, not a classified archive, a room where every file folder contains a piece of a story that someone does not want you to read. The door is locked. The key is in the judge's hand. And standing outside that door is a family, not asking for vengeance, not asking for money, asking only for the door to be opened.
The family believes strongly that if the evidence is being admitted in this preliminary hearing, it should be made public for the world to see.
That family is the Kirk family, and their attorney, Jeffrey Nyman.
Your Honor, Jeffrey Nyman on behalf of the Kirk family. I've been very hesitant to speak up at these proceedings. We understand it's the state, the defense.
Stepped before the bench and said, if the evidence is being admitted,
Preliminary hearing, it should be made public for the world to see.
It should be made public, no redactions.
No redactions.
No exceptions, just the truth, unedited. Before we go deeper into what the evidence actually shows, make sure you're subscribed to Shadow Jury Archives, because we don't just cover the story, we follow the facts. Now consider what is at stake here. A preliminary hearing is not a trial.
The family believes strongly that if the evidence is being admitted in this.
It is the lowest bar in the legal system. The state only needs to show probable cause. The evidence is raw, unpolished, and often brutal. But under the law, that evidence is presumed public. The public has a right to see it. The Kirk family did not ask for special treatment. They asked for the system to follow its own rules. And yet they had to ask. They had to stand in front of a judge and explain why transparency matters. That alone should give you pause. The attorney acknowledged the roles of everyone in the room.
And the judge, you're all doing your job. But I feel as if we need to.
The state, the defense, the judge. He said you are all doing your job.
I want to be clear as to what the Kirk's family's position is on all of this. The Kirk.
That was not surrender. That was precision. Because doing your job and doing what is right are not always the same thing. The tools exist to protect the defendant's fair trial rights.
This court has tools at its tools at its disposal to make sure the defendant receives a
gag orders, sequestration, venue changes. The judge has them. The attorney said, you will use them if you need to.
Fair trial. You'll use them if you find that you need to.
But he also said, to not be transparent will create doubt and distrust in the judicial system.
Will create doubt and distrust in the judicial system. And that's not what anybody wants. That's not what any of us believe should happen here.
That is not a guess. That is a warning.
That's it, Your Honor. To not be transparent here, to not be open, to not let the world see what happened, will create doubt and distrust in the judicial system. And that's not what anybody wants. That's not what any of us believe should happen here.
Transparency is not optional. It is the only thing separating a trial from a performance. Here is the parallel narrative. The official story says the court is protecting the integrity of the process. The unofficial story says the court is protecting itself from scrutiny. The Kirk family is not asking for the defendant to be convicted in the press. They are asking for the world to see what happened. To not let the world see what happened will create doubt. Doubt and distrust. That is the damning phrase.
And that's not what anybody wants. That's not what any of us believe should happen here.
It appears once in the attorney's statement, but it echoes through the entire proceeding. It is the moral refrain. Because once doubt enters the system, it never leaves. It becomes the story, not the evidence, not the verdict, the doubt. And this is where the ticking clock becomes unbearable. Because the preliminary hearing is the only moment before trial where the public has a clear right to access the evidence. If the judge seals it now, it stays sealed. Months pass. Witnesses forget. Documents vanish. The trial, if it happens, will be sanitized. The public will see only what the lawyers want them to see. So here is the question that turns this from a legal argument into a thriller. What is in those files that someone is so desperate to keep hidden that they would risk the public's trust to protect it? The attorney ended with a quiet request.
And we'd ask the court to consider the position of the family in making its ultimate decision.
Not the law, not the evidence. The position, the human position, the place where grief meets the machinery of justice. And that request hangs in the air, unanswered. The judge will rule.
Thank you. Anything further before?
The ruling is the beginning of a test. Will the public trust what they cannot see? Now, here is what you can do. Search the public docket for the Kirk family preliminary hearing. Look for the motion to unseal evidence. Look for the judge's written order. That document is your key to understanding whether the system chose transparency or convenience. After you read it, ask yourself one question. Does the reasoning protect fairness, or does it protect reputation? Drop your answer in the comments. Shadow Jury Archives does not tell you what to think. We show you what was said and let you decide. If this breakdown challenged your assumptions, hit like, share it with someone who cares about the truth, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Because the story does not end with the ruling. It ends when you decide whether you believe what you cannot see.